Yes, it is true, I fell off Jujutsu Kaisen again. I swear I don't hate it, but I think I finally figured out why, and some of you might be able to relate. So it has been a while since I've touched anything Kaisen related. I have not been reading it week to week for months now, and I haven't even read the past 5 chapters. Pretty much anything after Gojo vs Sukuna, barely have touched. I went back to read it just to see what was going on, where we are currently, see what people were excited about, and I enjoyed it. I have this appreciation for letting Kaisen chapters build up and being able to read all of them all at once. It feels nice. However, I did think to myself, why? Like, why do I do this for only Kaisen? It's a story that is very entertaining week to week. So why do I feel like I can't read it week to week and wait for it to build up chapters like a buffoon? After thinking about it, there's 2 things. One that's related to me and the other related to Akutami. I personally do not enjoy when Akutami builds up momentum, hype, excitement, and then cuts away from it and starts again. So if you were to visualize that, something that's slow starts to pick up speed, gets faster and faster, and right before it hits its peak, it cuts away and starts again. If you apply this method to fights, right, or to altercations or confrontations, whatever it may be, this can be really tiring because you get really excited to experience something and now your attention is focused on something else entirely that you may not be as interested in. And now you have to try and focus on that and get excited for it, only for potentially for him to jump away from it again, either back to what you're originally excited for or to something else entirely. If you spread your attention span really thin, at least that's what I feel like is happening to me, it's hard to not only stay excited but stay engaged on that singular topic. The great example I can give you right now that a lot of you will probably understand if you feel even a fraction of the way I do is the jump between Yuji Higuruma versus Sukuna over to Kenjaku and the comedian guy. It's not that it's bad or poorly handled or something that shouldn't be a thing, right? Because I understand why Akutami does it. I understand why he's pacing the story this way and these situations. It makes sense and it's greatly handled. It's just a personal thing. I just don't really enjoy it. Maybe it's just because I get too excited or too in the zone to see like my favorite character shine and thrive, only for that little cat to divert it elsewhere entirely and troll the community. Like the whole community got trolled with Yuji, let's be honest, because you see him come in, he's got a brand new ability or something's going on with his arm. We think he's about to throw hands and see these crazy techniques that we've never seen before, and then we go over to Kenjaku. However, if the fight that it jumps to, at least for me, can match even a decent amount of the previous anticipation or hype, I'm probably okay with it. I can give you an example of that too. Gojo versus Sukuna jumping towards Kashimo and Hikari and Yuji. They all kind of happen back to back. It's a little bit different, probably not that relatable, but still kind of works. We can jump from Gojo and Sukuna to Kashimo, to even a little bit of Hikari, to that Yuji situation, because they're all kind of keeping the momentum of Gojo versus Sukuna. We're trying to dogpile onto Sukuna while he's somewhat in a weakened state before he refreshed with Kashimo. Kashimo gets obliterated. Sucks for a lot of people that really loved his character, but it was a great way to go. Super quick. Hikari, you kind of got teased with that one. He didn't really do anything, but then Yuji and Higuruma, cool. We're excited. Jump away to Kenjaku. Do you see how all of that momentum and excitement was building so well with that stuff off of Gojo and Sukuna, only to jump away to Kenjaku and start again? And the fight you get with Kenjaku and the comedian guy is very different. Now, don't kill me. I'm not a fan of this fight. I don't think it's poorly done or poorly designed. On the contrary, I actually think it's super creative and very, very talented the way he's gone about it with the different interpretations of comedy, the variety between it, seeing a different side of Kenjaku and this comedian guy and just kind of pushing them in different directions that you would have never expected. Think of what we've just witnessed and then imagine this fight and you'd think it's a nightmare. You think it's delusional or a fever dream, but surprisingly, it works really well. However, when it comes to contextually, thematically even, it just feels a little bit out of place. Now, Akutami knows this, and probably half the reason why he actually done it to begin with. It works as a breather, allows you to kind of reset and realign yourself with everything that's going on. You witnessed a bunch of big stuff prior, here's a chance to kind of breathe, learn a little bit more about this comedian guy, learn more about Kenjaku and how he functions and sees the world, and then you get back into the serious things again. These pockets to breathe, very important important. We need them, but you don't necessarily have to like it, which I think is where I sit. I recognize that it's well written, I just personally don't enjoy it. Not my cup of tea. Because this is a breathing room, however, it does make me excited for what's to come. And knowing Akutami, because Yuta is the one that comes in right at the end and actually does a devastating blow against Kenjaku, cuts off his head, it builds up that climax, that anticipation, right? Here we go. And you know what? He's probably going to cut away from it again. He'll probably go back to the Yuji stuff and we'll start there again. Does this make sense to a lot of you by any chance? I'm sure there's a percentage of you that kind of feel the same way as I, maybe for the reason stuff or how Akutami handles that type of momentum. I think we all recognize that it's not poorly handled, it's just personal preference at the end of the day. Now that is obviously Akutami, but I did say that I had something with myself. I think because I read a lot of stuff, watch a lot of stuff, have different types of entertainment, whether it's movies, TV shows, different animes, manga, video games, etc., any sort of entertainment, the more variety and the more things you're watching and have in your rotation, the more certain things start to get put on the back burner. And I think because I was feeling kind of out of the loop with Kaisen, just with the type of stop and starty momentum, I prioritized other entertainment. So I would watch this K-drama or this TV show or play this game or read this manga, and Kaisen would just get pushed further and further back. And I would allow it to build up chapters. I'd go back and read it and think, wow, this is really good, really great. I'm gonna do the exact same thing again. I've done that multiple times now. Even with the recent stuff I read with Kenjaku, knowing that Akutami most likely will jump back to the Yuji stuff, which is going to be very entertaining, I'm probably going to put that on the back burner as well and just kind of wait, let it build up a little bit of chapters. Now I say that, but I am very curious with Yuji. It might get the better of me. I might read the next chapter. I don't think it's the end of the earth. I don't think it's anything crazy. I just thought I would express it and talk about it. So this is why I keep falling off Kaisen. It's not the only story either. I do it with a bunch of other stuff. Some of you may be able to relate to this situation. It might not be specifically for Kaisen, but other stuff. Perfectly understandable. Is there a way to fix it? I don't really know. Maybe only forcefully focus on Kaisen, maybe try to lower the amount of entertainment that I'm indulging within. I will say, when it comes to the future of Kaisen, however, I am very excited. Curiosity is a compelling urge to me. I like feeling mystery. I like guessing. I like trying to figure out where the story is going and, you know, what's going to be teased and trickled in and theory crafting. Like all of that great unknown that surrounds the future of the story is really exciting to me. So when it comes to Kaisen, there's a bunch of it still remaining, even though we're in the ending of its story, and I'm curious to see where it goes. Like I want to see what's the go with Yuji. I want to see how they handle Sukuna. I even want to see the stuff with Kenjaku again. Like we are splitting off into some very big things that I'm happy about. Now there's a couple of people that are left unaccounted for, but the one that I'm always excited for, that I will always come back for, is Maki. I think I've expressed time and time again how much I love Maki as a character, how much I love her origin story, what she represents, the destruction of the Zenin family, and her kind of finding her inner self, true beauty type thing. I love it through and through from start to finish. So anytime she's on screen, anytime she is drawn, I'm there, I'm sat, I'm listening, I'm watching, I'm eating. We all feasting, let's be honest. She's also kind of a big curveball in this story because she is really strong, really powerful, and could really cause a problem for a lot of people. So now that you know that, of course, my priority is going to go to her. Also Yuji, Yuta, seeing the entertainment value that they're going to bring has me really excited. I hope, truly, fingers crossed, that the Kenjaku and Yuta situation is a lot more different and a lot more kind of complex or difficult even than what has already been shown. Yuta pulled up very quickly, finished off Kenjaku very easily. I hope it's not that, and it seems crazy if it was just that, so there's definitely going to be more, right? Sukuna is always going to have entertainment behind it because he's fighting everyone. Like people are just going to keep throwing stuff at him and he's like an unstoppable force, or too tall of a wall to climb. So you're going to have to get stuff that we haven't seen before. Or if it has been seen, the variation of it that is very new. So Higuruma's domain, but for the first time seeing how that domain responds to Sukuna, you know, a murderer, someone that has been alive for thousands of years and committed a bunch of different crimes. So it's going to be funny to see that. That's new. Yuji with his abilities, that's new. How people actually approach and try and fight Sukuna, that's new. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's another point where we add another element into here, which would be probably with Hikari. If Hikari is not fighting Sukuna, Urame. So you could jump between all three of those situations. Add Maki wherever she has to go, and you have anticipation constantly cycling through and through. If and when that momentum is constantly cycling between 2 or 3 different situations, that's probably when I'll come back and read it week to week. And potentially even talk about it week to week, because that's 3 high octane, high momentum situations that you want to see every second of. So jumping back and forth between them, I think is perfectly fine. It's just that build up, that sacrifice at the beginning, that slow momentum to build your excitement for this brand new moment that's being introduced. Partially the reason why I didn't enjoy the Kenjaku and Takaba stuff. But it does set good groundwork and a good opener for what was to come, being Yuta. At the end of the day, I have a lot of excitement for Kaisen, and I pick and choose on when I feel like I should come back and read it week to week, compared to letting it pile up. I don't read spoilers. I don't care to read spoilers. I kind of get annoyed when I see spoilers because it throws me off even further and I kind of just get bored then. But the mystery, the unknown, the curiosity will always bring me back. But that is all I got. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you later.